your seemingly invulnerability to spice. What's the deal? Do you not show it? Do you build a tolerance to spice? What's going on with you?
I think that, and maybe you could probably help with this, having been on the receiving end, is that when you're doing the show, I think that there's a responsibility with the interview that kind of turns you into a superhero. You know,
Right.
you have to keep the show moving and the pace. So even if you are uncomfortable, you can kind of get outside of it the same way, like an athlete in a moment of being exhausted might do something superhuman, or like a mother that sees their child rolled under a Volkswagen might have that super strength to pick up the car and get them out from being pinned under the tire,
That makes a lot of sense.
So I think that that's part of it. And then two, I think that there's a part of it that is I need to show a strength, a show of strength to you, the guest, as sort of a comforting thing.
You're the commander who leads the charge.
I'm like a shaman.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So there's part of it where, if I'm freaking out, then maybe you freak out. If I go on Bear Grylls' show and he's we need to scale this waterfall, and then he's trying to do it and freaking out and crying and stuff, then I'm I'm not going up there with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I'm freaking out, you're not going to keep going. And part of it, it's interview, but part of it is helping see you through this journey,
That's a great response. That's really powerful.
Hopefully I can keep that going.
So does that imply that somehow when the interview is done, that it hits you?
I think at this point now, doing it 110 times over the last 2 years and change, there's nothing that I don't expect. You know what I mean? So I think that helps. And then there was a time early on where, it would fuck up my day and maybe fuck up the day after. But now at this point, if I have a shoot at 2, I could hit the gym at 5:30 or 6.
Wow.
I am starting to adapt to a point that maybe is borderline concerning, but at least my life is keeping a better pace.
And do you do any kind of regulating your body? Is there any doctors involved going on here?
Well, I'm almost afraid to check it out because they'll shut down my wave or something like that. They'll be you can't eat any more spicy food. And then it's well, now what? You know what I mean?
It's better off just not knowing.
Yeah, exactly. I'd prefer to just not know.
The time I'll question, if you don't go to the doctor, you can't get cancer.
Exactly. I think the ignorance is bliss in that respect.
Okay.
But then too is I never really do anything. People give me 10 million tips all the time, but I do just kind of ride it out. And then at this point, I kind of enjoy it because, as you know, there's so many calls, emails, da-da-da, when you do this. And I can kind of build in an excuse if I'm doing hot ones or popping a pepper or doing one of these shoots where I'm no one talked to me for 3 or 4 hours.
That's great.
And then I'll just go home, I'll blast the AC, I'll put on basketball shorts, I'll catch up on some DVR, I'll listen to music. And I've actually come to appreciate that I can play that excuse.
And just be everybody leave me the fuck alone.
Exactly.
And
so,
they respect it.
Exactly.
They have
they
to.
think they have to. They think they have to give you that long leash.
But now that you're saying
You're
it,
saying that, you're totally fine.
Wait, I've fallen into the H3 podcast trap. Oh, no.
That actually sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.